Hello friends, welcome back to Online Maths Up. We're going to be solving this equation right here. So this is x power 5 minus 1 is equal to 0. Okay, so of course if you're new to our channel, do want to hit the like button and also subscribe to our channel. Okay, so having said that, let us now proceed with this video. So you just need to note that the factored way of expanding this expression is x minus 1 and then multiply by x power n minus 1 plus x power n minus 2 plus x power n minus 3 plus, of course, the continuous tx and of course t1. So this is the factored way of expanding this expression using the formula for difference of powers. Okay, now using this expansion, if n is equal to 2, what you're going to be having is just x minus 1. And then, of course, when you put 2 here, this is actually going to be 2 minus 1, which is just x. Okay, and then plus 1. And if your n is equal to 3, you still have, this is s minus 1. And then when you put 3 here, this is 3 minus 1. So this will be s power 2 plus we put 3 here, 3 minus 2, which is x, and then of course 1. So that when you continue this way, when your x now becomes equal to 5, which is the case of what we have right here. So we are actually going to be expanding this to be, okay, will now be equal to, so let me write here, this will now be equal to x minus 1 into, when you put 5 here, this is 5 minus 1, which is equal to 4, plus put 5 here, that is 5 minus 2, which is equal to 3. And so it actually continues in this order. So this will be 2 plus x, and then plus 1. And of course, it's equal to 0. Okay, so let me put this. So from here, we can actually apply the zero product rule, which we will be seeing that it is either x minus 1 is equal to 0, or this one inside this bracket, x power 4 plus x power 3 plus x power 2 plus x plus 1 is equal to 0. And if this becomes the case, x will be equal to 1. So this is going to be the first value that will satisfy the question we are solving. So we can choose to call this x1. Okay. Now we are going to proceed to solve this one over here. So what we have there is x power 4 plus x power 3 plus x power 2 plus x, and then plus 1 is equal to 0. So what I'm going to do is just to go ahead to divide through by x power 2. Okay, x power 2 divide by x power 2 divide by x power 2. Okay, so that's x power 4 divided by x power 2. What we're going to be having here is x power 2. This one will have x. This one, x power 2 divided by x power 2 is 1. So here we'll be having 1 over x. And here we'll be having 1 over x power 2. And these will still be equal to 0. Next, I'm actually going to group like terms. So this is x power 2. So I'll bring this one together. 1 over x power 2. Okay. Then I'll also group this one that I have in x power 1. Okay. 1 over x. Then plus this one over here is equal to 0. Now what we're going to do is actually to find a way to get an expression for this. And to do that, if we can actually get it from this expression over here. And when you expand this expression, you'll be having x squared plus 2 times x times 1 over x, and that will be 2x. plus 1 over x power 2, okay, which is 1 over x squared. So that, sorry, there's no x here, because of course when you have 2 times x times 1 over x, this is actually going to cancel this, so we only have 2 here, so that eventually this is x power 2 plus 1 over x power 2, and then plus 2, so that eventually this now implies that this expression we are looking for, x squared plus 1 over x power 2, will now be equal to this one, x plus 1 over x all raised to the power 2, and then minus 2. Okay, so what I'm going to do is actually to carry this expression here, and then I'll substitute for this x squared plus 1 over x squared. Okay, so what I'm going to be having is x power 1 over x minus 2, and then plus x plus 1 over x or plus 1 is equal to 0. So you can see that I've got some common terms here. So what I'm just going to do is to set x plus 1 over x to be equal to, let's say, m. And if I do that, so this one is having power. So if I do that, m power 2 minus 2 plus m, and then plus 1 is equal to 0. That this now implies that m power 2 plus m minus 2 plus 1 is minus 1 is equal to 0. And this is a quadratic equation, which of course we can use this formula method to find this, solve that. Okay, this is b squared minus 4ac all divided by 2a. And of course in this case, our a is equal to 1, b is equal to 1, and c is equal to minus 1. So if we replace all of them here, our m is now going to be equal to minus 1 plus or minus root 1 squared minus 4 times 1, and then times 1, all divided by 2 times 1. So moving on, this is actually going to give us minus 1 plus or minus the square root of 1. Okay, c here is minus 1, so minus times minus is plus, and then 4 times 1 is 4, divided by 2 times 1 here is 2, and of course this is equal to minus 1 plus or minus root 5 divided by 2. Okay, so that we now see that the two values of m from here will be equal to root 5 minus 1 divided by 2, or minus 1 minus root 5 divided by 2. But we actually set our m to be equal to x plus 1 over x. So we are now going to be taking this case for m, the case 1 for m, equal to root 5 minus 1 divided by 2. What we're now going to be having is x plus 1 over x is equal to root 5 minus 1 divided by 2. So what I'm going to be having here is x squared plus 1 divided by x, and is equal to root 5 minus 1 divided by 2. So cross multiplying 2 times x squared here is 2x squared. Okay, so let me just put it this way, 2 into x squared plus 1 is equal to x into root 5 minus 1. Okay, so opening this bracket, we have 2x squared plus 2. Then let's bring this one here, x into 5 minus 1, and this is equal to 0. So that eventually we have 2x squared minus x into root 5 minus 1, okay, plus 2 is equal to 0. So obviously you can see that we've got another quadratic equation where our a here is equal to 2, our b is equal to minus root 5 minus 1, and then our c is equal to 2. So substituting in the formula method, our x is now going to be equal to minus b plus or minus root b squared minus 4ac all divided by 2a. Okay, so that when we put all of these values of a, b, c, what we're going to be having is minus bracket and then minus root 5 minus 1, okay, plus or minus square root of minus root 5 minus 1, and then minus 4 times 2 times 2, all divided by 2 times 2 times 2. And eventually what we have is root 5 minus 1 plus or minus square root. This is squared here. So when we take the square of this stuff I have over here, I'll be having 5, okay, minus 2 root 5 and then plus 1. Okay, so if I multiply this, minus 4 times 2 times 2 will be minus 16. And all of these divided by 2 times 2 is 4. So moving on, this will be equal to root 5 minus 1 plus or minus square root of, so 5 plus 1 is 10, and then 10 minus 16 is minus 10, okay, minus 2 root 5. And all of these divided by 4. And this is equal to root 5 minus 1 plus or minus square root of, I can factor out minus 1 here. Then I have 10 plus 2 root 5. All divided by 4. So moving on, this will be equal to root 5 divided by 4, and then minus 1 divided by 4, then plus or minus root. So I can have root 10 plus 2 root 5 multiplied by root minus 1. So all of these will still be divided by 4. So that if I continue from here, so this is actually going to be root 5 divided by 4 minus 1 over 4 plus or minus root minus 1 here is complex value I, and then I can push this 4 inside the square root. So I'm going to be having 10 divided by 16 plus 2 root 5 divided by 16. So that eventually our x now becomes root 5 divided by 4 minus 1 over 4 plus or minus I into root 2 here is 5 over 8 plus root 5 divided by 8. So this is actually going to be the second value and the third value of x. So let's keep this and then we'll come back to it. So we'll now move to case 2 where m is equal to -1 minus root 5 divided by 2. So this is case 2. And then we can now substitute for m. So we'll say that our m is equal to x plus 1 over x is equal to, then this m over here, that is -1 minus root 5 divided by 2. Okay, so when you simplify this, you'll be having x squared plus 1 divided by x is equal to -1 minus root x, all of this divided by 2. So multiplying 2 into x squared plus 1 is equal to x into -1 minus root 5. Okay, so this is actually gonna, if we expand this, if you open this bracket, so this is 2x squared plus 2, and then let me bring this one to the left hand side. So this is x into -1 minus root x. Okay, and all of this is equal to 0. So rearranging, I have 2x squared minus x into -1 minus root x root 5, and then plus 2 is equal to 0. So this is another quadratic equation. So we're going to be using the formula methods 2. X is equal to minus b plus or minus root b squared minus 4ac. All of these divided by 2 times a. And then of course, a is equal to 2, b is equal to minus into -1 minus root 5. Okay, and then c is equal to 2. So if I replace them here, x will now be equal to minus into -1 and then -5. Okay, then plus or minus root minus into -1 minus root 5 all raised to power 2, and then minus 4 times 2 times 2. All of these divided by 2 times 2. And this will be equal to, so this whole thing here, minus times minus, so I'm going to be having -1 minus root 5, okay, plus or minus square root of, if I expand this one, I will be having 1 plus 2 root 5, and then plus 5, then minus 4 times 4 times 2 times 2 is 16, and all of these divided by 2 times 2, which is equal to 4. And then continuing from here, x will be equal to -1 minus root 5 plus or minus square root of, so if I sum all of those things, then I'm going to be having -10 plus 2 root 5, and then divided by 4. So this will be equal to -1 minus root 5 plus or minus root, I can also factor out -1, and then I'll be having 10 minus 2 root 5. And all of this divided by 4. So I'm going to be having -1 minus root 5 plus or minus the square root of, so let me write this one first, 10 minus 2 root 5 and then multiplied by square root of minus 1 divided by 4, and that will be minus 1 divided by 4 minus root 5 divided by 4 plus or minus square root of minus 1 here is I, and then roots. I'm going to push this 4 inside, so I'm going to be having 10 over 16 and then minus 2 root 5 into 16. Then eventually x3 comma 4 will now be equal to minus 1 over 4 minus root 5 over 4 plus or minus I into root 5 over 8 minus 5 over 8 minus root 5 over 8. So this is now going to be, this will be the fourth and the fifth value of x. So if we bring everything together, first we saw at x1 that x is equal to 1, which we named as x1, and then x2 we saw that to be equal to root 5 over 4 minus 1 over 4 plus square root of I square root of 5 over 8 and then plus root 5 over 8, and then x3 will now be equal to root 5 over 4 minus 1 over 4 minus I root 5 over 8 minus root 5 over 8. Okay, and then the last two that we saw, s4 will now be equal to minus 1 over 4 minus root 5 over 4 plus I into 5 over 8. So this is plus and then minus root 5 over 8, and s5 will now be equal to minus 1 divided by 4 minus root 5 over 4 minus I into 5 over 8 minus root 5 over 8. So these are going to be the 5 roots of this equation, and of course these ones are all complex values. So these are complex values, complex numbers. Okay, and then this one over here is a real number, and it is not difficult for you to check that even the real number there will satisfy the problem. X minus 1, x power 5 minus 1 is equal to 0. So if you just put 1 for x, so we're going to be having 1 power 5 minus 1, and obviously this is equal to 0. Okay, so this shows that the real number there satisfy, and then these are the remaining roots of this equation. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you understood this video, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel for more updates, and then I hope to see you guys in my next video. Bye.